Nadine's due another at least.
It's not, I'm going to introduce.
Don't come off the nose like that. Film out, we've got to film out.
Order, everybody. The father of the bride, Ken, has delegated to the wordsmith of the family. So if I could introduce Mr. Matthew Knowles.
Thank you. So first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight and sharing this special day with the newlywed couple. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Matt, I'm Cheryl's nephew. I have been put forward to do the father of the bride speech. I know that's a bit odd, but we got my granddad talking, we don't know when he'd stop. And there ain't enough alcohol behind the bar to steady my dad's nerves. My granddad had asked me to mention something on his behalf, though. He would like to let everybody know that he is single. He's very recently had 2 brand new hips and he drives a Ford B-Max. So at the end of the speech, as if you'd like to form an orderly queue at my table here, I will be taking applications, and he's assured me he'll get back to you all within 2 to 3 working days. But anyway, I mean, where do I start with Cheryl? God, I could be here all night talking about memories. I mean, my favourite one has probably got to be when she went on a night out with my mum to meet a few of her friends. And Cheryl knows already what this one is. And as they've gone into this club and they're walking down this corridor, Cheryl spotted her friends at the end of the corridor. So she's waving to them, going, "Oh, there they are, Arlene, come on." And as they've got further down the corridor, Cheryl realised she was waving at herself in the mirror. But no, Cheryl's been a great aunt, a great sister, sister-in-law and daughter. She's done a lot for me throughout the years. She took me to my first football stadium tour where she took me around Old Trafford. She made me one of the most popular kids at my school when she worked at BRMB, because she used to get me the sample CDs with all the music on about 4 weeks before they were released. So that was good. She did have an obsession with this one band called the Pigeon Detectives, but we never quite figured out who they were, did we, Cheryl? But no, then skip a few years and we got to the moment where we got to meet Paul. I have to admit, ladies and gentlemen, I was very excited. I do think there's a slight miscommunication along the way, though, as Cheryl mentioned something about me meeting Daniel Craig. So can you imagine my surprise when Paul walked in? But no, we then got to meet his 2 amazing kids, Harry and Emily. We had plenty of nights out, lots of curries, lots of drink. We got to then meet the rest of his family and friends on his stag do, where we only had a couple of drinks and was in bed by 9 o'clock in the morning. But no, Cheryl, you've been an amazing aunt. You've been, all through my life, someone I've looked up to, and someone who's always made us proud as a family. And Paul, I couldn't think of anybody better to be with Cheryl, and you two as a couple are just amazing. So I'd like to raise a toast for the first one of the night to me Aunt Cheryl and my new uncle Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, Cheryl and Paul. Thank you.
Well done, Matt.
Oh, right. Hanky's at the ready. After the Lord Mayor's show, I think. So welcome everybody, and firstly a big thank you to all of you for being here today and sharing our wedding day with us. We're honoured that you're able to be here with us. A few of you in the room probably know that when Cheryl and I first started to think about getting married, our initial thoughts were to just disappear and do it on a beach or in a little chapel somewhere without a fuss. But when we really thought about what we wanted to do, we thought, you know, we're going to miss all our family and friends. You know, what we want is we want the people that we love around us. And on our journey through life, you people in this room today, you represent the closest people to us. So it's very special for us both that we've got you all in one room. So thank you. It's also very expensive. When I started to plan this speech around 1:45 today, I began to realise that my speech is the boring one, unfortunately. Nestled between 2 young men full of enthusiasm, vim, vigour, comedy genius. It is the dull old groom speech. I've got lots of toast to make, lots of thank yous, so hopefully all your glasses are fully charged. It's probably a good point to also sort of point out, Alison, you're not all inclusive, so you might want to sip from now on. And if anybody does find the bottom of the glasses throughout this speech, have a word with my sister Lisa or Mrs. Collins. They would definitely have a secret stash of alcohol. We are, after all, a family from Newhall. We can't possibly pay hotel prices for our alcohol now. Sadly, it's not possible for everybody to be here today. But you probably see the little chair that we put together. But we know that there's people that are here in spirit. They're in our thoughts and also our hearts. And I like to think that they'll be mingling at the bar later, on the dance floor, or laughing amongst you. So the first one, unfortunately, is the sad one from me. If I could ask you to raise your glasses to have some applause. Right. And the emotion keeps coming. If I could say a few words about my family. Firstly, my mother. My absolute rock, Mum. You helped me through a very difficult time a few years ago. Really grateful. And in addition, you also designed those letters at the back there.
I didn't design.
So we'd like to say thank you, and we've got a little something for you as a token of our appreciation.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
To Lisa, Rob, Lee, Beck, Gareth and Jess, and the friends that I like to think of as family, Martin and Andrea, and the friends that I used to think of as family, Matt and Alison. I'd like to say a big thank you also for your love and support and for welcoming Cheryl into our wacky world with such open arms. And finally, I'd like to thank Harry and Emily for always being this old man's pride and joy, and also for allowing Cheryl to be a part of their lives and welcoming her into their hearts. Thank you. I'm hoping he gets easy now. Unreal. Killing the mood. On to Cheryl's family. Ken, I'd like to say a particular thank you, not only for raising a beautiful daughter and allowing her to marry me today, but also for so gracefully walking her in to the ceremony today. That was a very special moment that we've all been waiting for. It was lovely. You've entrusted me with looking after your daughter, and I won't let you down.
Oh, no.
To Graham, Linda and Matt, as Cheryl isn't making a speech, a bit disappointing. On behalf of her, I'd like to say thank you for all the love, help and support that you've always given her. She thinks the world of you all. And on a personal note, I appreciate how you've welcomed me into your family, and would like to welcome you into the madness that is my extended family and friends, but you seem to be integrating pretty well. So if I could ask you to raise your glasses once again to family. I'd like to take a moment now to mention our beautiful bridesmaid and little flower girl. I'm sure that you will agree, they look absolutely fantastic. So on behalf of Cheryl and I would like to say a massive thank you for making the effort that you have, looking so magnificent, and for helping to today so unforgettable for us. And we've got a little gift for you, Marley. If you'd like to come and grab this. And also a gift for you, Emily. So if I could ask you once again to raise your glasses to two beautiful young ladies, Emily and Marley. Quick mention now to our hosts here at the Cliff Hall Hotel. When we were looking around for venues earlier last year, we came upon this place really by chance, didn't we? And which is incredible really when you think how close to it we are. But we've been bowled over really by the help and support that we've had. Excuse me. Particularly Marie, I don't know if she's about or if she's in earshot, but she's helped no end organise today and really taken the stress out of it. I hope you agree, it's a beautiful venue, lovely food, they really look after you. We will certainly be returning, and I would recommend that you guys also give it a go. And a quick mention also to our photographers today, Neil. I don't know where Sue is. Neil, is she? Neil, Sue. Who, in a relatively short space of time, have already made us feel like old friends. And they promised that with a bit of airbrushing, they can make me look as good.
A lot of airbrushing.
If we could just put our hands together, a bit of a show of appreciation for the staff here at the Dovecliff and for Neil, Matt, and Before I move on to the last part of my speech, I should say a few words about my best man. It will be a few. It's fair to say that my son Harry has put his own unique stamp on this role. He hasn't really helped a great deal. He hasn't paid for anything. And I certainly can't recall any moral support either. Quite the opposite. He was, though, one of the chief architects of the entertainment that was my stag weekend in Benidorm. When I say entertainment, this would imply some sort of enjoyment on my behalf, but it'd probably be better if I just refer to it as my humiliation. If he has put only a fraction of that effort into his speech today, we're in for a treat. When I say we, I mean you. Hopefully the amount of alcohol you've already consumed means that you won't be able to remember too much of it anyway. And now, onto my wife, the new Mrs. Cantrell. Like all brides, she's worried herself to death over the last few months about how she was going to look today. But I'm sure you'll agree with me, she's absolutely knocked it out of the park. She looks stunning. Cheryl and I first got together over 5 years ago now. A lot has happened since, but I do still recall our first proper date. We went to see a band together, we had a great time, but when the music stopped, for some reason, I thought it would be a good time to set my stall out, to put all my cards on the table, so to speak. And so I began. I told Cheryl I came with a bit of baggage. I'd got 2 teenage children, and their needs would always have to come first. I told her that I ran a business, which at times was very demanding, and I was often required to work away from home. I added that I came from a large, close family. I got close friends and I like to see them regularly as well. And I also like to keep fit. In the evenings, I've got a bit of a routine. When I finish work, I like to keep fit, and I like to play squash. I like to play a lot of squash. That took up my Sunday evenings, and I didn't have many evenings in the week when I wasn't playing. And I was also a Derby County season ticket holder, so every other Saturday I was going to be watching football, and that was also some weekday evenings as well. Now I don't know if she was stunned into silence, but she sat there, and she never got up and she never left, and I thought, I'm on a roll. And so I continued. I said, I drink too much, I eat too much, I talk too much, I sing too much, I listen too little. I laugh too much, I sleep too much, I work too much, I often break the wind too much. I'm picky, I have a sweet tooth, I also like pork pies and peanuts, and whiskey, I love whiskey. I'm a control freak, I get distracted. I can be disorganised, I spend too much money on daft things, I can be untidy, I lose things, I forget things, it's never my fault. I pull too many faces, I'm vain, I have a bit of OCD, I'm a bit faddy, and I always go to the same place on holiday. But after all that, Cheryl looked up at me and she sort of like, she narrowed her eyes a little, those beautiful blue eyes, and she said to me, "You don't half look like Daniel Craig." And just as a footnote to that story, 1 or 2 people have questioned my appearance today. 1 or 2 people have said I could have had a shave. Well, let me tell you that without the contact lenses and without the glasses, the only way she knows it's me is by touching my face. And I certainly didn't want to confuse her on our wedding night. So the simple point to that little tale is that Cheryl, she knows my flaws, she knows my weak spots, and she loves me all the same. Somebody quite famous, who I've never heard of, said that to be fully seen by somebody and be loved anyhow, this is a human offering that can border on miraculous. And so by that token, ladies and gentlemen, what you're witnessing here today could be described as a miracle. So in addition to making me feel very loved, Cheryl also does whatever she can to help me with whatever it is that I'm doing. She makes my life so much simpler, and importantly manages to make me laugh every day in one way or another. And there's one little tale that I've been waiting to tell you today that shows you how Cheryl can be both a help and make me laugh at the same time. So I've got to take you back a little bit to May of this year. We came into the Dove Cliff for a wedding fair, and one of the main reasons we came in was to see David Matthew, the classical pianist who we wanted to play for us today. We'd already arranged that he was available for the day, and we thought we'd meet up with him. Shook hands, and I confidently boasted that yes, you know, I like all sorts of music, David. I'm a real connoisseur, I like all sorts of genres. But at our wedding, the background music, I'd like some classic romantic ballads. And he said, great, the classics. And what he then proceeded to do was play what I can only describe as Name That Tune With Me. Where he started to play the beginning of a song, and then he would stop and point his finger at me and expect me to know the song. Well, I didn't. In fact, it just didn't resonate at all. And this went on, and he's done it about 3 or 4 times now, and I'm sweating. And Cheryl stood by me, and he did it one more time. He played, he held his finger out, and Cheryl, sensing my embarrassment, she put her hand across and she says, "It's okay, I know this one. It's The Coward of the County." That well-known classic romantic ballad. We still managed to persuade him to come out there. But I can tell you that my wife, she has a heart of gold. She would do anything for anybody. Every day she makes me feel very loved, and to me is as beautiful on the inside as she most certainly is on the outside. She's my best friend, my PA, my gym buddy, my finance expert, and if you listen to Harry and Emily, she's also my carer. I think the world of her. I'm very proud to call her my wife today, and if I could ask you to just grab your glasses. Happy is the man who finds a true friend, and far happier is he who finds that true friend is his wife. So, to happiness.
Happiness.
Thank you. Hand over to the best man.
Well, I'll try and lift the mood. I'm going to keep this speech a lot like myself. Short and not very funny. Now, I'm sure all of you know now that I'm the best man, Harry. Now, I've known Paul for quite a long time. we've never really been friends. To me, he's been more like a stepdad. But I've got to say, I've been really looking forward to this today. This is the first time ever that I'm going to have spoken for 5 minutes straight without one of them interrupting me. I'm very proud to be best man today. And I think it's an honour to be the best man at any wedding, never mind your own dad's. But with that comes a responsibility, and with that, a bit of pressure. But, and I probably shouldn't tell you all this, there's an added pressure on me today. Because my dad has said that if I do a good job today, I can be the best man at his next wedding too. But in all seriousness, Dad, I really hope you don't screw this marriage up. Because I think we all know now, you will never ever find another woman that thinks you look like Daniel Craig. But you know what they say? Love is blind. And that is just a part of what makes them such a fantastic couple. Another part of it is how easy it is for them. How natural it is. They've never had to work at their relationship. It's never forced. And I think that's fantastic, because love is a lot like a fart. If you have to force it, it's probably shit. Now, of course, I have to take this opportunity to say just how absolutely fantastic Cheryl looks today. Don't you all agree? Yeah? Well, I could have gone back. Cheryl, you look absolutely beautiful today. I think you're absolutely glowing. So much so that I'm actually getting a bit of glare off the top of his head, so can you turn it the way? Dad, today you're taking away from here a kind and caring wife, a successful businesswoman, a dog whisperer, and a loving person that we are all so very grateful to have as part of our lives. And Cheryl, today you're getting a nice dress, a 3-course meal, and moving on. I don't know if everyone knows this, but the day the bride and groom got engaged, it wasn't exactly planned out. I spoke to my dad after, and he said, "Son,